Hey, this is Janelle Klander, and you are listening to Hang Out with Janelle. Today I have my very good friend, Miss Ora North, with me. Say hi, Ora.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Ora is a photographer, a shamanic healer, and a crafter of oils, as we decided to say. And her and I have been studying some cool stuff and both really interested in doing healings for other people. So we've been friends for probably about 5 years, I think now. I think we just figured out. So I thought it would be great to have her on the show and talk to her about dreaming, because this is an area that she knows a lot about. And it's an area that I think a lot of people are interested in, but they don't really have a really great resource. So, Ora, can you tell me when you first became interested in dreaming or working with them?
Yeah, well, as a kid, I actually had very vivid nightmares. And I actually did a lot of lucid dreaming, only it was spontaneous and not intentional, and was always very dark and very scary for me. And so I actually started working with my dreams out of necessity. I wanted to learn how to change my dreamscape from something negative to something positive. And so I began studying in the dream time and in the waking, and I have learned how to analyze my dreamscapes and the symbols and the archetypes, and now I can use it in a positive way.
Cool. So I can definitely relate to having really horrible nightmares, mostly as
Most
a child.
Of us can.
Even throughout being an adult too. Just have started to shift that in just recent years. So backing up to what you just said about lucid dreaming, in case a lot of people don't know, what is lucid dreaming?
Lucid dreaming is conscious dreaming. It's knowing you are dreaming while you are in the dream. Mm-hmm. So it's bringing your waking consciousness to the dream. So you're essentially waking up in your dream.
Mm-hmm. So then how would you use that when you were having the bad dreams? How would you use lucid dreaming to help you?
Well, you can consciously confront your demons. Mm-hmm. You can ask them questions. You can use magical powers in your dreams, different kind of tools.
Okay. So why do so many people have a hard time remembering their dreams? Because I know people often say, oh, I don't dream, when they probably do, right? They just don't remember them.
Yep. We all dream multiple dreams every night. Whether we remember them is a different story. And I think a lot of people set themselves up for not remembering them by saying that I don't dream. Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest mistake people make is by assuming that the dreaming world and the waking world are not connected, mm-hmm. that they're two separate worlds. Mm-hmm. And the truth is that I like to see it as an infinity loop. One sphere is dreaming, one sphere is waking. Mm-hmm. First glance, they seem like they're separated, but really they flow into one another, and each feeds and nourishes and guides the other. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And once you can, understand that everything is connected and there's really no separation between the two, mm-hmm. then you can start working with them much, much more effectively.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any stories of examples of this? Of even having dreams where you knew something was happening in your life, or you knew something was going to unfold in your life?
Well, yeah, and you can use synchronicity a lot. So if you dream about something and then see something in your waking life that reminds you of the dream, mm-hmm. that's like a cue that, the two worlds are connected. And the more you pay attention to those cues, mm-hmm. The more you remember.
Okay. So how would you explain what would be helpful for people if they wanted to start working with their dreams or remembering their dreams? What could they do?
The first thing and the most important thing is a dream journal. Mm-hmm. And even if you don't remember your dreams, if you write down what you are feeling the exact moment you wake up, mm-hmm. that can often trigger memories of your dreams. Mm-hmm. And, when you're dreaming, the most important thing to remember is your feeling, because that's the most accurate interpreter. Mm-hmm. So if you start keeping a journal and just writing down anything you remember, feelings, colors, animals, and even if it's like one sentence and that was it, that's still going to help you if you just consistently do it.
Okay. So then if people are consistently journaling about their dreams, and they're going to automatically just start remembering them better?
Yep.
Okay. So what would you say to people that say that dreams don't really matter and they're just a reflection of what's happening, your worries and fears in the waking life, that they don't really mean anything?
Well, that's actually partly true. The Australian Aborigines, they believe that you have little dreams and big dreams. And that's why it's so important to pay attention and journal every feeling you have, because you need to distinguish what's big and what's little. I mean, you do have little dreams where you're just reflecting on your day and you're processing your anxieties. And, I mean, those are still very important, but they are little dreams. And then you have big dreams, and those are the ones that really hit you. They're like a vision. They're a quest you go on in your dreams. You know, some piece of information or message you get, and you can feel it. You can feel that it wasn't just a little dream. And that's why your feelings are your biggest indicator, because you just know.
Yeah, I've had that quite a few times where once in a while I have journaled about my dreams, but lately I have not. But I still get those really powerful messages that sometimes I'll get them in the middle of the night and I'll have to write them down. It doesn't happen that often, but I'll know that whatever came through is really powerful. I think just the energy that comes through with those dreams makes a big difference. And, and recently I had a few dreams in a row that I was lucid dreaming, which was amazing because I felt like I could relate to you because you're always talking about lucid dreaming. And I felt like I kept having the same dream over and over again. I kept trying to get up and go to the bathroom, and it probably went on forever until I realized that I was lucid dreaming, and that's why I couldn't go to the bathroom. So I got up, went to the bathroom, went back to sleep, and I had amazing dreams where I was flying around and doing all these awesome things. So I would love to practice working with my dreams a lot more. I've also had some awesome experiences with animals. I feel like when I'm in a lot of transition in my life, I will get bitten by a snake. This has happened 3 different times in my life in the past 2 years. And the snake bite is so powerful that I will just wake up in the middle of the night gasping for air because it's such a powerful thing that happened. And it's not that, I mean, in waking life, I actually don't really like snakes, but I don't think it has to do with that. I think it's such a powerful thing. For me, it's like a powerful thing of transition. I'm being bitten by the snake. Can you talk about working with animals?
Yeah, I've actually had snake a lot too. Especially right before my Kundalini awakening a few years ago. I would constantly dream about snakes biting me. And, while it seems kind of scary that you're being bitten, it's almost like they're giving you a gift. Like they're putting energy into your body to help you transition and transform. And I remember in my waking life, the 2 years leading up to my awakening, I had a strange fascination with snakes. I would say serpents because it sounds much cooler.
Yeah.
But I had like a serpent nose ring. I had serpent bracelets. I didn't even really like snakes in real life. I just had this odd fascination with them. And the more I paid attention to that, the more they would come in dreams. And that's one example of how they feed into another. But animals are my favorite dream guides. I always get them when I need something or I need to examine something. Animals can represent aspects of ourselves, traits that we need, have too much of, not enough of, and they're just wonderful guides. Some of my favorites are when I'm feeling really stressed out. A lot of times I'll dream of something adorable like otters.
Yeah.
I've dreamt about swimming.
Otters are adorable.
They're so cute. I've dreamt about swimming with otters and playing with them. And, otters are guides of, joy and fun and, letting loose.
So you intentionally dreamt about otters? You're saying you went to it, or it just happened?
No, not the first time.
Okay.
Once I became familiar with their energy, I could kind of call upon them to visit me in dreams if they would.
Nice.
And that can work sometimes.
So you have a checklist for when you get stressed out, which is like meditation, aromatherapy,
otters,
swimming with otters.
Yes,
in your dream world.
Works every time.
That's awesome. I need to try that.
Yep.
So when the animals come into your life, do you ask them what they're there to teach you, or any directions that they're there for?
Yeah, you can ask them in the dream, especially if you become lucid. Having a lucid dream with an animal guide is like nothing else. I have embraced an orca whale lucidly before, and I can still feel the texture, of his skin and his tongue. And an elephant too. I snuggled with a baby elephant while lucid. And
cute.
It's so real. It's very, very real. But, there's also a lot of good guidebooks that tell you the different meanings and medicines of animals. And I think you actually have my favorite one,
right here,
which is Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. That's a really good one. And then obviously you can go into meditation and try and figure out what the animal's trying to tell you.
Okay. Since we've been talking more about being lucid in dreams, what advice would you give people that want to be lucid in their dreams?
Well, first of all, I'd want them to ask themselves why they want to become lucid. A lot of people want to learn lucid dreaming just so they can control their dreams. And that is really fun, and obviously flying in your dream is really, really fun. But I've found through my years of study that controlling your dream is actually not, the best thing for your spirit. Just bringing that lucid consciousness to your dreaming and then kind of observing and seeing what guidance comes to you is a lot more productive, I think. But if you really do want to learn how to lucid dream, journaling is a big one. There are lots of teas and herbs that can help with it. Something you can do is you can wake up in the middle of the night and kind of get yourself awake for like a half an hour and then go back to bed, and that kind of brings your brain into REM better. And that can help induce the lucid dreaming too.
Okay.
But there's lots of techniques.
Okay.
I couldn't even talk about all of them right now. There's way too many.
All right. Well, yeah, I think it's just great for people to know some if maybe they've experienced a little bit of it already. Maybe they didn't even understand that that's what it was yet. But that's good to know. And you pointed out something good. It's a good intention to go into lucid dreaming with asking for guidance or even healing in your dreams. Explain to me what dream reentry is.
Dream reentry is the ability to work with a dream after you've already dreamt it. Maybe that dream that you really wanted to become lucid in and you couldn't, you can still work with that energy. You basically just have to remember that dream and use it as a gateway in meditation. So you go into meditation and then you bring up the image of that gateway of that dream. Say you dreamt about a bear who was attacking you, which I've actually dreamt about before.
Yeah.
You picture that bear in your mind and you kind of go into that feeling of fear you had in the dream in meditation, and you consciously enter through the gateway into the dream.
Okay.
And then when you're there, you kind of guide yourself, and you interact with the elements in that dream as if you were dreaming it lucidly, and that can bring about marvelous change.
Okay. Especially if somebody, I've talked to some people that have the same dream over and over again, and it can be a terrifying dream. So this would be a good way of them to working with it to shift out of that dream happening.
It'd be an excellent way. Just, noticing what you do in that dream that keeps recurring and thinking, well, how could I transform this? And then go into meditation and make those changes, confront those anxieties. And then you'll notice your dreamscape will change because of it.
So somebody can do this through going back into the dream, through REM sleep, or they could go into meditation. Would that be another way? Is that still considered dream reentry if they do it in meditation?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I've done that quite a few times when something really significant feels significant, like we were talking about, like a big dream happening, and I won't quite understand it. And like we were talking about earlier, there's a lot of dream books out there, and maybe there are a lot of common themes with things happening, with, you know, having a dream without having your teeth or whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's important to go into meditation or to go do dream reentry and find out why that's happening, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's when you're going to get the best information.
Yeah, because everything is still individual to you.
Okay.
Even with all the common symbols. And the teeth falling out, I get that a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm. You personally do?
Yeah, I do. The teeth falling out, it's a big anxiety one for me.
Yeah.
It's pretty common. But it is important to find out, you know, what is meaningful to you specifically, because, you know, you're unique. Mm-hmm. And so is your dream life.
Yes, absolutely. I want you to talk a little bit about using symbols in your dreams.
Symbols, yes. And this we talked about a little bit, how there are a lot of common symbols, a lot of common archetypes. Mm-hmm. Jung worked with the archetypes in dreams a lot. He was brilliant.
And who is Jung, just so people know?
He's like a Swiss psychologist, dream analyst. Just Google him. You'll find a million things that you wish you always knew.
Yeah?
Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, there's a lot of common archetypes. The shadow is one that I work with a lot as a shamanic healer.
And what is the shadow?
Your shadow self is basically what it sounds. It's your dark self. It's where your fears and your doubts linger. You know, it's your dark side. Mm-hmm. And it's
everyone's got one.
Yeah. And it's so important to work with your shadow self, and dreams are the best way to do that.
Okay. Can you give an example of either a personal example or just an example of how you could work with your shadow self in a dream?
Yes. Being a shamanic healer, my shadow self comes in the form of animals. Mm-hmm. And I remember a few years ago, I kept dreaming about a large black creature. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like a combination between a wolf and a bear, but it was never totally clear. Mm-hmm. It was almost like a shadow in itself. And in these dreams, it would be attacking me, or I'd be running from it, or I'd be climbing something to get away from it. And it became a bit of a recurring theme for me. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to use dream reentry and meditation to go into that dream space where that animal was attacking me, where that shadow self was, mm-hmm. and confront it instead of running away. Mm-hmm. And or this is a big one, let the animal devour you. Mm-hmm. That's really hard for a lot of people because it seems a little counterintuitive.
The resistance, yeah.
Yeah. But really, allowing that shadow animal to devour you is almost an initiation of sorts, and you're facing it and embracing it, which is good. You don't want to repress your shadow self. Mm-hmm. And then once you do that, you find that your shadow self becomes an ally rather than an enemy.
Sure. And, I mean, I walk people, my coaching clients, through visualizations like that, too, describing what, in essence, their shadow self looks like, and just, you know, describing it, the feel, the color, and then talking to it, and then not the resistance, just kind of like fuels the fire. You know what I mean? Yep. If you're getting to know your shadow self and in your waking life, meditation or dream, I think it's such an important aspect, because if you're not, you're probably really freaking anxious.
Yep.
And maybe you have worked with it in some way and not even consciously understood what you were doing. Mm-hmm. You know, it could have just been breathing through something. But I think acknowledging that dark side of yourself, which everyone has, so it can also be, and I say that because it can be like a depressing feeling of like, oh, I can feel this darkness, you know, sometimes, and when I'm alone, or just even when I'm with other people, you feel that, and I think being aware of, being able to work with it and acknowledge it is so powerful.
Exactly. And I feel like there's a pressure, especially in the spiritual community, to be positive and light all the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that that's healthy either. I think that, you know, we have our shadow selves for a reason. I think we're supposed to experience the light and the dark and find out how to use it, you know, constructively. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you know, that you can find your wild self a lot in your shadow. You know, you got to get a little wild in your life and embrace that wild spirit. And yeah. So it's really good to just kind of embrace and nurture the shadow self in a healthy way rather than a destructive way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's good to be in balance, like you said, with that. It's good to be positive, and obviously we're still treating other people with respect and positivity.
Course.
But we're still might allow ourselves to have some time where we're feeling that darkness and exploring it and working with it, as opposed to just
what it means to us.
Yes, absolutely. Instead of just resisting it. Is there anything else that you wanted to share about dreaming or examples you had in your life?
Well, I did have a very cool experience with dreaming with a friend of mine who lives in LA, and we have a very strong dream connection. And one night I dreamt that I was with a gathering of people and my friend was there. And I looked outside and I saw a large black wing falling from the sky, just beautiful big black feathers, and it was very heavy energy, very intense and very electrical. And I watched the wing and it fell onto the roof, and I knew at that moment that an energy had come and that a presence had come, and it was very, very strong, though I didn't know what it meant at the time. And the next day I talked to him about it, and he had told me that him and a group had actually done an invocation of the goddess Kali that night. And Kali is a Hindu goddess. She's goddess of creation and destruction. She's very, very intense. A lot of people don't like working with her, but she's very, very powerful and will help you change your life completely, probably by kicking your ass first. And he had this group invoke Kali and bring the energy down for the good of the earth. And I just thought, whoa, I cannot believe that I connected with him in his dream.
That's awesome.
And this entire entity coming through. And then I noticed the next month my life was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Things were like being destroyed and created, and everything was changing, and I was having dreams of the goddess Kali. And her and I are still very close.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a lot of people are scared of that just destruction, but with the destruction comes the creation.
Exactly, and your dreams can help you access that.
Awesome. So what do you offer to work with people for dreams?
For dreams, I am doing a 3-week intensive study. It is one-on-one. It's mostly through Skype, and it's online. So it's 3 weeks. It's 4 Skype sessions with me and 24/7 email availability and daily dream homework. But basically, we spend 3 weeks looking into your dreams and how you can work with them. Your individual archetypes and symbols and, ways that work for you. And the first week is all about awareness and just getting to know your dreams and getting your awareness going and looking at your archetypes. And the second dream, we dive deep into lucid dreaming, and we use a lot of techniques to get you lucid dreaming. And then the third week is bringing it all together, and it's about shamanic dreaming or dreaming for your soul. And that's using lucid dreaming and your awareness just to learn how to access your dreams and the wisdom that you have and change your life with it. And I want to teach you the skills where you won't need me anymore. You can change your own life using your dreams anytime you want.
That's awesome. That's pretty exciting. And what else do you do at Lady of the Pines?
Well, I do goddess experience photo shoots, and that includes whimsical photo shoots. I'm actually a professional photographer. That's what my degree is in.
She is, and I had a photo shoot with her this summer, a goddess shoot. And if you go to my website, JanelleCletter.com, or I don't even know if you've seen it yet, but I have.
Yeah, okay. It's awesome.
I use one of the photos from that shoot. She's awesome, and she's awesome at making you feel like a goddess, and then coming out with all these great pictures of you looking beautiful.
Yeah, and then the packages also include, or some of the packages, they include shamanic healing. To kind of heal some of those old wounds and bring out that goddess self more.
Which is always important.
And a friend of mine, Christy, owner of Holistic Arts, she makes jewelry, and some of those packages include goddess jewelry that you can wear for your shoot or just every day afterwards. And then it can include some of my natural beauty goodies. I make sacred perfume oils.
Which are awesome.
Just different things to just help you bring out that goddess self, like in its full capacity.
And why is that important for people?
Well, because your inner goddess is who you really are. It's your authentic self. And it's really important for us to live authentically because no one else can live authentically for us. Like, we are very unique. There's nobody like us, you know?
Exactly. Good. And that's when we're the happiest, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we want to be happy.
We do.
Awesome. So where can people find your stuff, your website, all that?
Just go to www.ladyofthepines.com. You can check out my photography. I have an Etsy shop that's linked there. Check out my products.
Great. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can see below there's a link to that. I also have a link to my website, janelleclander.com. And if you're new to me, you can also click on the link below and you'll get a free chakra meditation that I've done. And yeah, we'd love to hang out with you guys again. Follow us, and we hope you enjoyed this and learned a lot about dreams. So thank you so much for being here, Ora.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.